Tameside Radio Sports Talk with Betfred. Visit your local Betfred shop today for a variety of great offers and check out our app for great features like Pick Your Punt Builder. Whenever you bet, Betfred. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Well, hello and welcome. This is Sports Talk with me, Lewis Connell. And as always, I'm joined by Betfred's Peter Spencer. How are you, Peter?
Yeah, great. No problems at all.
Fantastic. Well, we'll get straight into it then. Man City rescued a point, of course, in the 97th minute of the game. It was it kind of lived up to expectations, didn't it? I know it was a very attack versus defence, but it was a lot more interesting than some of the ties between the two sides over the past few years. Yeah,
I think battle lines have been drawn big time now. I saw the two coaches going head-to-head at one point. I couldn't believe it. Supposed to be best mates. I suppose they've made up by now. But it was a very, very unusual game, that. I thought the sending off was perfectly justified. He kicked the ball away, which you're not allowed to do. And then Arsenal saying, well, one of the City players, he kicked it away, but he wasn't really kicking it away. He's kicking it towards the player going to take the kick. So I thought the referee had a blinding game, to be honest, enforcing those rules. He had a cracking game, despite both managers trying to blame the referee for various things, like Kyle Walker not being in position when he was jogging back. And I just found it a fascinating watch. It was just great.
Yeah.
The way that Arsenal set themselves up in the second half, it was just like a case of... The odds were hugely against them achieving anything by doing that, because City have got form for breaking teams down, but it did look like they were going to hold out until, as you say, John Stones pops up with the equaliser. And I think Arsenal, hands on heart, will go away thinking we'd have settled for 2-2. Never mind the sending off and all the rest of it. Yeah. And it has altered the odds somewhat at Betfred now. City are still the favourites, as you'd imagine, to win the Premier League outright. They're 11-10. Arsenal have been cut into 7-4. Our traders are getting to think that Arsenal are closer to City than they originally thought. So they're 7-4 to win the title outright. Liverpool 6-1. They had a good win. Chelsea 22-1. They seem to be coming back into it a bit more now. Spurs and Aston Villa 40-1 to win the Premier League outright at Betfred. And the mighty Manchester United, together with Newcastle United, well, they remain 50-1 to win the title outright.
Well, speaking of United, it was a 0-0 draw away to Crystal Palace, but I actually thought that's probably the best United have played all season. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's not saying much, that, is it, mind you, to draw at Crystal Palace.
But I thought it was a very good performance.
But they did better than expected. They didn't get the ball in the back of the net, which has always been a problem in recent times for United, not having a consistent goal scorer. Seemed to share out all the goals. That's apart from the Barnsley result, of course. It was 7-0. But, of course, that was in the Carabao Cup. Talking of the Carabao Cup, we've got City and Watford.
We have on a Tuesday night, of course, City at home, and they'll probably rest. I mean, I'd be surprised if anyone who played in the Arsenal game starts that one, because, 2 days rest is not much at all, is it?
No, it's not like he's short of players, though, is it?
No.
There don't seem to be many injuries around. So, Betfred have City 1-8 to win that game. Watford 16-1. Haaland, should he play, 11-5 to score the first goal. Foden, who probably will play in that game, 9-2 to score first with Betfred.
Yeah, I think City, they've shown that they take the Carabao Cup quite seriously, don't they? A lot of managers, top managers, I know Jurgen Klopp didn't seem to be too keen on it. Alex Ferguson never was really, but nice to see that Pep's respecting an old competition.
Yeah, I do appreciate that and think it's the right thing that he's doing there. These competitions are so important, particularly to clubs lower down the pyramid, and they definitely need the revenue that's generated by City, United and the top clubs respecting it and putting out half-decent teams. I think he will rest some players, mind you.
And then this week as well sees the return of the Europa League. United are at home to Dutch side FC Twente on Wednesday, weirdly. They've flipped the days round.
Yeah, it'll stop all those jokes about you playing on a Thursday, etc. But as you say, United are playing 20 on Wednesday at Old Trafford. United go into this 3-10, massive favourites there. The Dutch 17-2. Big chance for Ten Hag to check out all the Dutch players, no doubt. More of them coming into United. To win the Europa League outright, Betfred have Tottenham and United both equal favourites 9-2. And in that game on Wednesday, Højlund is 4-1 to score first. Kirkzee is 4-1, same price. Rashford and Bruno, they're both 6-1 to score the first goal.
And even though it's a sort of lesser European competition, it might be one that United take serious and see as a opportunity for top four, because, well, not top four, but to play in the Champions League next season.
Yeah, it is European competition, and it is a chance to blood the young players, the squad players, into European games and against European opposition, of course. So on the top four for achieving that again, for the first time for ages at United for this season, Betfred have United 100-30, so they've been cut in slightly there, but they're still like in 8th place in the betting stakes for a top four finish. Relegation from the Premier League, well, Southampton are the big favourites now, 2-5 to be dropped back into the Championship. Leicester 8-13. Ipswich, well, they're evens, so we do think it's the three relegated clubs who go straight back down again. Everton 6-4, and Wolves 15-8 for relegation.
And then just moving on to the Betfred Super League, the top six has been decided now, hasn't it?
Yeah, we're down to the last six. Fairly complicated how it pans out here, but basically the first two, which are Wigan and Hull KR, get a week off, and then the others thrash it out as semi-finalists, the other 4 teams. So on Friday night, we have Lee against Salford, at Salford as it happens. And on Saturday night, it's Warrington hosting St Helens. St Helens ended up 6th in the league, so they did get a playoff position, just about. But we do think Saints will come back strongly and could be the first team ever to win the Super League from that the grand final, that is, to win the grand final from 6th position. So we have them at 12-1 to do that. Warrington 9-2, so they're third favourites. Wigan, naturally enough, most consistent team, full of superstar players, don't seem to have as many injuries as everybody else. They're evens to win the grand final on October the 12th at Old Trafford. Hull KR, fast emerging team, 11-4, second favourites to win the grand final. So then, as I say, we've got Warrington, then Saints. Leah 20-1 shots. They've got to win at Salford first. Salford 25-1.
And just to finish, we've got a great story on a winner, haven't we? They bet on 20 different matches on an accumulator, and they've won over £3,000. Yeah,
this is a fella from Reading. He, I find it. He basically had a 20-fold accumulator, a £2 bet. It took him 5 minutes to make his selections. And these selections were from literally all over the world, including places such as Belize, Antigua, Barbados, Virgin Isles, American and British, Nicaragua, St Kitts. And then he had Wrexham and Salford in Wales. And then lots of teams such as Matlock, Hyde United were included in that, and Bashford. Anyway, 20 matches all over the world, literally. And he bet that in every one of those, there'd be less than 3.5 goals, so i.e. defences rule. And all 20 matches came in for him. So a £2 bet, and he won £3,606. He lives in Reading. I spoke to him over the weekend. He's a shop assistant called Rakesh Patel, and he's going to India, where he comes from, where he was born, for a holiday. I'll pay for that for him and his wife, and good luck to him. Fantastic return that. He's a West Ham fan, as it happens.
Oh, fantastic. I don't think I've ever seen a bet quite like that. Teams all around the world.
Yeah, literally. And it only took you 5 minutes to make your selections.
Yeah. Well, he might be in for another one very soon if he seems quite knowledgeable. So we'll have to wait and see. But if you do fancy a bet on anything that we have discussed today and you want a chance of winning sums like that, you can bet online, on the app, or in Betfred stores. And we'll see you at the same time on Friday.
No problem. Thanks very much.
Tameside Radio Sports Talk with Betfred. Visit your local Betfred shop today for a variety of great offers and check out our app for great features like Pick Your Punts Builder. Whenever you bet, Betfred. 18+, begambleaware.org.